Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Vitality Health Features. Today, I have invited a veteran in the wellness industry with more than 20 years experience, which has garnered him many students, as well as being invited to numerous talks and media events to share his acquired knowledge and experience. Given his passion for seeking natural therapies, it is no surprise that his research includes TCM, aromatherapy, crystal color therapy, music, dance therapy, yoga, and Qigong, just to name a few. So, without much further ado, let us welcome Bryan Gan, or more affectionately known as Bryan 老师. Welcome, welcome.
Hi Grace. Hi everyone from Vitality. I really love your Facebook. Really love it.
Thank you so much for your support. Okay, so I'll dive into the first question for you, Bryan.
Okay.
I'm very interested to know what is the impetus that led you into this wellness industry?
Actually, I don't really understand why I'm in this industry until when I passed 45 years old. Okay. Actually, I'm actually celebrating my 50 years old this year. So I still remember I was an engineer. Okay, I studied IEEE, electrical and computer engineering, and So because I'm the only child, so my whole family pinned hopes on me to do well in the academic. And during my time, electronics engineering are very in, so you must really do this course in order to succeed in future. However, when I was studying in Australia, I can't vision myself working in a big substation and doing all the engineering work. I feel very stressed, you know, and I got into slight depression when I was studying in Australia, because every day I'm facing all the big substation. Then I say, in future, I'm going to be in a substation with cows and looking at all the electrical cables. And you know, I'm so trained. I can even design the how to electrical everything electronics at home. I can do that, you know, till today.
Wow.
Yeah. So one day I was so stressed out until I got headache and migraine, and then I walk along Brisbane. I studied in Brisbane, Queensland University Technology. So I walk along the street in the middle of not in the evening around 7 p.m. So as you know, in Australia they have a lot of aromatherapy shop, herb shop, and crystal healing shop. So I was very drawn to a very big herb shop, right? And I walk in and look at the lady there. She looked at me, what happened, Bryan? You look so, I said, I'm Bryan. I said, what happened to you? You look very stressed. And tell her about my problem. And she makes some herbal tea for me. And she gave me a piece of very beautiful color crystal. And suddenly I feel so good.
I see.
Yeah. And from that day onward, beside studying, right, I spent all my free time to go into aromatherapy, natural therapy in Australia back in 1994.
Oh.
Yeah.
Such an interesting story.
So in fact, when my mom told me when she gave birth to me, I actually stayed in the hospital for a very long period of time. Why actually I'm the only child? Because when my mom gave birth to me, her heart got some problem. So she only can have one child, that is me. So during my childhood, a lot of sickness, even adults, I get sick very easily and things like that. So going to Australia is actually a challenge for me when I was studying there, because of the weather. And I used to be a very timid person. When people come to my house, I will hide inside the room. I will not want to talk to anyone. And that's why I told you, until when I was around 45, I said, how am I able to stand in front of 1,000 people or a few hundred people and talk? What strives me to do that? Then I know that because in fact, when I'm 50 now, I don't look like 50, right, Grace?
No, you don't.
and for person that when TCM listen to my pulse, right, it's always like, oh, you are weak and things like that. Then they were surprised, how come because some people, you are born to be weak in your internal health. Neither 先天 is weak one. So no matter how they listen, is weak and things like that. How come you look okay? Okay. The reason why I look okay, because I think it's my diet, the way I handle things and put in positive things into positive vibes, positive thinkings and things like that.
What you say is very interesting, because sometimes you have to go through certain experience, then you realize that there is something within you that's seeking for some synergy, either like you say with aromatherapy, something that your body will tell you that it's lacking and it's asking for that. I also went through poor health before with all the stress. I did architecture and all that. graduated, I even got a scholarship for that. Wow, one of the top students. But it means nothing if your health is poor. So I think this type of journey, sometimes, of course, at that point in time, I feel very lousy. I say, why must I go through that? But you realize that, in retrospect, as the process continues, you realize, oh, it's good that I went through that. Then you really appreciate, all these natural therapies that's around you, and it's actually available for you. And
Yes.
like you say, gratitude, positive vibes, all this, wow, it just comes to you like pouring in, and then you just become so grateful. Amazing. I love that. That's so
Probably
amazing.
I just go back to a little bit of history, a quick
Yes.
one, okay?
Yes.
When I first started the first aromatherapy or natural therapy class in Singapore back in 1998, it's not an easy one because in Singapore, we are still very far behind compared to Australia or US in terms of the natural therapy and things like that. In fact, 我们有退步一点点, you know what I mean or not? Because it's too commercialized sometimes. But luckily, we have a group of very young people now, or people at my age, still holding on and trying to continue to face the economy and also the commercialized world. It's not easy. So I just share with you, back in 20 years ago, when I was working my first job in defense science technology in civil defense science technology, I spent my weekends thinking, how am I going to spread my knowledge about aromatherapy and healthcare to the world? So I did something very, very daring. What I did is I used a Microsoft Word 95, I don't know what, to prepare a brochure. I print out Aroma, Color, Music, Acupressure Talk by Bryan. I was thinking, okay, where should I give a brochure and where should I hold a talk? So I decided to book a venue at YMCA for 50%. And at that time, no people know about me. So I print out 100 pieces of brochure and I walked to Holland Village. The place selling magazine, Holland Village, the MRT come out, there's a place selling magazine. I was standing there giving out brochure and I just give out brochure and I said, hopefully there are 10 or 20 people who attend the talk. So I give out around 100 over brochure, and in fact, I'm able to catch 3% to attend the talk. The other 12 are my colleagues, and my classmates and friends. So they attended the talk and they find it interesting. And I spent so much effort in sharing the talk that day. It's all about aromatherapy. Let people know about music, aroma, acupressure, sound therapy, everything I've learned in Australia. I just want to share out, and that kickstart how I go on the journey like that. I charge $50 per person in 1998, which is a lot because I was thinking, this $50, I'm giving everyone a bottle of oil, flower water. I'll give them a lot of things lah. Yeah, and it's two hours at YMCA at Plaza. Toby got there, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Surprisingly, there are people from American Women Association, and I don't know how I'm able to capture them from Holland Village. And there are one or two DJ. I don't know, probably the luck is shining on me that day. So maybe the heaven say, or God say, oh, this guy is working so hard. Maybe there's a future for him. They just make these people walk past it. So I always tell myself, when you have faith and you have belief in things, right, and that you just need to persevere and just work very hard for it, and you will succeed. And
you're probably anointed to do that. That's why, the stars align and then people come. Okay.
Between 1997 to 2001, I tried to do some one-to-one session with people. Like I was stationed in, Yan City, Takashimaya there, Yan City. They used to have a very old aromatherapy shop called Coramun, but this brand don't have already. So I was there doing a one-to-one consultation to blend aromatherapy oil for people back in, I think, 1998 that time. But I find that one-to-one, that's that far I can go. I need to go out and spread wellness, food cure, music, and things like that with more people so that more people can benefit from it. So after that, the 3 years of one-to-one, I said, oh, I need to do something different. So I did try the YMCA. And I also approached, Orchard National Library, approached the committee then to allow me to give free talks to people. And that time is always full house. I even still have that brochure that keep that brochure. Yeah, so I was very frequent at Orchard Library. And at the time, because I was taught yoga by one of my teachers, relaxing yoga, not those full stretch and things like that. So I was invited to companies like a lot of stat board in Singapore to teach stretching exercise. I'm not not a certified yoga teacher, to tell you the truth, but I teach my way of stretching and aromatherapy to people, and to get into step board like Ministry of Manpower. Even I went to Istana, Prime Minister office to teach. I don't know what happened. That time they just come and find me, and I was overwhelmed and give me all the confidence. But I have some setback also, because some people will ask me when I was very young, I say, what's your credential? I don't have any. I was still so young, I don't have. And after a few successful workshops, right, I thought I can carry on my journey like that, continue to give workshop, but it's not easy. I start to send out email, like 100 email to different companies, and sometimes the email return only 1 or 2 to engage me for workshops. So it's not really an easy journey at that time.
Okay, understand your struggle, because sometimes you have this anointing, there's this light within you, and you want to share, but people will still always want to know, how much experience you have and all that. It's quite sad, but you come with sincerity and earnestness to share your experience.
Yeah. That's why I always tell a lot of my friends who are in HR, right? I say, you guys should give chances to youngster, people who just came up from aromatherapy or physio, who keen to give talk when they have the passion. They are the people who can really share and help you. For some people, they very loud, a lot of credential already. The way they share, sometimes they just, you know what I mean?
Yes,
so
yes,
I shall not go further there. But I always tell people, give chances to young people. And actually, to tell the truth, past few years, I always look for young speaker and ask them to come to my talk and expose them to to people, because I do not want the youngster to go through the hardship that I've gone through. A lot of people look at me, hey, Bryan, you have so many hundreds students and things like that. Every student, to touch their heart is not easy when they are young.
Yes, what they call the fire under the belly. When the fire is strong, should not pour water on that fire. Let it burn.
Okay, to tell very frankly, when I was young, I came from a very not well-to-do family. Okay, it's really struggling, day-to-day struggling. When I was giving natural therapy, I was thinking, how are people going to afford to go for a therapy which costs $200 to $180 an hour? How are these people who need help? To tell the truth, a lot of my clients, those one-to-one are the Thais, the expatriate. Okay, this is this is a fact. Who can pay you $150 an hour to tell you the problem? You just collect the $150 and prescribe them the oil and give them a bottle of oil. But not everyone can afford $150. The reason why I want to give group, the effectiveness is good because before I design the class, every time I design a course, a 2-hour or 3-hour course, I spent few months to design in a way that I put in all the factor, like you got neck, shoulder pain, okay, what acupressure you press, what food you eat, which TCM doctor you can go to. I even researched to detail which are the good doctors in Singapore, give them all this information. I'm like a one-stop solution back 20 years ago, before got Facebook, got Instagram. I'm a lookup table for my students. I give them all the information because I want to help more people. Of course, I want to survive for myself also, right? So I also prescribe them the useful essential oil that they need, or the crystal or the sound and things like that. So that's where my motivation comes from in teaching group. And so far, the result is very good. A lot of my students, last time is a lady, now grandmother already, okay? They put in their Facebook, oh, thanks to Bryan, I still look good. And a lot of people who've gone through depression. Depression is sometimes you too hao ming already, to tell the truth. If you throw the depression person in Cambodia, no food to eat, where got time to depression? A lot of time depression, why I say about depression is because cannot get out of certain situation. You need to talk to certain people. And the problem with to talk to certain people, you need to pay money. You need to pay $200 for an hour. So that's where my motivation come into it, Grace, to share whatever things that they need. To equip them with some little fishing rod so that they can fish some of the information easily rather than go through the pain of searching and things like that. Too excited. Sorry.
It's okay. So now, let's just say in a group session, maybe a new group of students, they come to you with issues and all that. Within just one session with you, say a 2-hour talk, do you see transformation?
Yes, because the way I design my workshop, Okay, I have one powerful workshop that I designed and has been used for 20 years already. It's a foolproof way to plant. I would not say that immediate transformation, but it plant the seed into that person. So the next time when they lost temper, they know, oh, Bryan, I remember in Bryan class when I lost temper, I need to press Tai Chong Xue. I need to do 6-3-6 breathing exercise. Okay, these are the information that I equip in my notes. I give it to them. The class is only like $35. That's the notes. I give them all the information. Or some of them, they say, oh, I got headache, migraine for forever. Then I tell them, don't use the word forever have migraine. You just say you're in the process of recovering. Then I teach them affirmation and tell them what are the food to eat. Give them the faith that by eating this food, going to the right TCM doctor, your headache, migraine will go away one day. You're not born with migraine, right? That's the thing I question them when attending the class. Yeah.
That's very good. That's very good. I audible and so informative, right? And like you say, plant the seed. I love that concept, planting the seed.
In fact, to tell the truth, past 2 years is not an easy one. I wanted to continue giving workshop like that, but it's so different from last time because this natural therapy is so, you know, with social media, YouTube, Facebook, a lot of people think that they're equipped with so much information already. They lost the excitement on attending a real person talk. And they always think that the overseas speakers are better, and they look into overseas therapies and forget about the Singapore. There are a lot of good Singapore aromatherapists, natural therapists, Singaporean. They are very passionate, very good. And yeah, it's not easy to have workshop like last time. Last time I can have workshop very easily. People attend, register very quickly. Now, not easy. But I continue to go on my work. I still writing blogs. So already I still write blog.
Why not? Don't say you're old. You're very young.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I will still continue. And luckily, have people like you that notice there are a group of people, natural therapists in Singapore, that working so hard to share. And it's not like thinking about commercial interests. And thank you so much, Grace, for giving us a chance to talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
The thing I cook are all very plain. All very plain. Favorite home cooked food is my mom's cooking, actually, which is the Hakka Yan Jiu Ji, the drunken salty wine chicken thing from the Hakka. Yeah. And also my mom's suan pan zi. These are the two favorite home cooked food. Because my grandma used to have a small little shop at Bugis Street back in 1980s. So I help her out in selling all these things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In fact, till today, right, I still go Kinokuniya twice, or bookshop twice a month to buy books. And my house is like full of books. So when you are asking me what is my favorite book, it's a lot. But I want to show you the very first health book that I have back in 1985. 1985, how old are you?
In my secondary school. Secondary school.
Almost the same, around secondary school. So in my secondary school, I remember my mom brought me to Chinatown one area. There's some books that is on the table and things like that. So I bought this Health in Your Hand book, okay, which teaches, at the age of 1985, I started to read books about acupressure and what to do when you got headache and things like that. So so this is my favorite book till today. And one of the topic in my every class is one of the chapter inside that I share with people. It's by a doctor. Yeah, Health in Your Hand. I don't know whether you can still find this book, but you can see it's very old.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give you one example. Back in 2007, I was still working as an engineer. Okay. But that time the economy was not very good. Okay. So there's some recession going on. And so my boss tell me, probably I just need you to work probably once a week, one man day a week lah. So I was thinking, oh my God, I need to support my family and pay my study loan and things like that. What should I do? So my down was that period, and that's where I start sending email out to companies to give talks law. And what is the motivational quote behind it? Is like I said that I'm still alive, and I look at my grandmother. One person can raise grandchildren and so many of children. One person, my grandmother, and she's like wake up 4 a.m. every day in the morning to sell kueh and things like that. If she can do that, what's the problem with me? And I don't have to go through war like last time. People need to run around with war, So I say, at most I can do food reflexology for people. I can work at those, maybe if I'm not successful last time, maybe you can find me at those Chinatown. Okay, I'm okay. It's still earning money through hand, right?
Yes.
So in fact, in my list, what I do is I always list down what I can do when I face some problem, what I can do. I don't want to think of what is the dead end. I think of what I can do to solve the problem. You need to write down. You cannot let it be in your mind. That's why at home, I have a lot of color pencil, a lot of papers, of very nice paper. I write down. When a person write down, the thoughts and energy just move to the paper and remove all the negative thoughts to the paper, and you're able to see it clearly. Why nowadays a lot of people having stress, tension, depression is they don't read books anymore. They don't flip the book and read. They don't use a pen to write. They just use their thumb and keep on doing this. You do this too much, but when you take a pencil and pen and write your problem, write your solution, you can feel the flow of energy, the ideas. That's where the motivational energy come into me and make me out of a lot of situation in life.
Wow, that's a very useful tip. I think I agree with you. A lot of people don't write that much anymore. You know, even the touching of the paper and the flipping, all these actions are very, very therapeutic. Yes, the writing.
Yes.
If not, all the thoughts are clouded here, and it becomes very heavy. So I think writing is absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Can I give you two?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. One is look at the world with the child's eye. It is very beautiful. It's very meaningful. Okay. Look at the world with the child's eye. It is very beautiful. Okay. It's by a Swami. And there's another one that I love is life gives you plenty of time to do whatever you want to do if you stay in the present moment. So this is very meaningful because most of us are worrying about future, cannot let go of the past sadness. They forget about the present moment. So present moment, like this time I'm talking to Grace, is actually very joyful. And I lock this joyful down. And if any time I have sadness, I think of Grace and vitality. They make me happy.
Vitality, yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Thanks. For coming to our final question, what does vitality health means to you?
Vitality health means silence, happiness, and joy. And you can see I'm slowing down my speech also. Whenever I listen to the word vitality, there's a strong inlet of energy inside my body, waiting to show people loving kindness, compassion, and to tell people when there is darkness, there is light. When there is despair, there is hope. When there is sadness, there is joy. So vitality is not about myself. It's the vitality of silence, of healing that I want to project out, that meant to me.
Very good. But there's something called the potential energy, right? It's like it's coming out, like what you say, it's coming out. And
Yeah. Because when at first when you talk to me about vitality, I was thinking about the computer game I was playing, Vitality Health, and like
is there a game like this or no? I don't know.
Yeah. But when I look at you, because you represent vitality also. When I look at you, the flow came in. And as you know that I appear in almost 90% of the Chinese show. So speaking in English is not easy for me. But just now when I look at you, it just flow out like that. So it's vitality. So this is vitality.
So thank you so much, Bryan, for taking time out from your busy schedule and sharing with us all these tips and your experience. I think it's invaluable experience indeed. So thank you so much. And if you like more information about Bryan, I'll provide the FB link below. So thank you so much, Bryan, for coming on board. Yeah, I hope to meet you again and we'll chat more. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for watching.
Vitality health means silence, happiness, and joy. And you can see I'm slowing down my speech also. Whenever I listen to the word vitality, there's a strong inert of energy inside my body, waiting to show people loving kindness, compassion, and to tell people when there is darkness, there is light. When there is despair, there is hope. When there is sadness, there is joy. So vitality is not about myself, it's the vitality of silence, of healing that I want to project out, that meant to me.